431 days ago, Sam Ovens launched what would become the most profitable funnel of his life. But the surprising fact was it was also the simplest. It was a Google Doc and a Loom video on a page. But this simple funnel quickly became the most profitable of his career, and I know this because I was in Quantum Mastermind when he launched it. This thing popped out over $900,000 of profit in just 30 days. And it quickly became the infamous Google Doc VSL, and now everywhere you look, people are using this strategy. Well, I put this Google Doc VSL to the test and it, flopped. So was Sam missing something when he taught this new marketing strategy? And would this simple funnel work for you, or would it flop like it did for me? Now, first, this funnel was genius for Sam, but today we're going to look at the nuance of why it crushed for him and why it might not work the same for you, or for some of you, why it might do just as good. So let's break down this funnel. Again, I've had the privilege to see these numbers from being in Quantum Mastermind. So the traffic came from his customer communities, which have over 11,000 people in them. He also sent a lot of emails to his list to promote this thing, which had over 1 million people on it at the time. He posted a YouTube video promoting it to his, 200,000 or so subscribers. And he sent all this traffic to a page where he had a single Google Doc that explained the program and how to join. That page directed them to pay a $99 application fee. Then they accepted certain applications based on things like vibe, I'm not kidding, literally vibe, what type of business you had, what you could contribute to the community, and how much your business was currently at, and the capability you had to invest into it. If you were accepted, you were invited to get on a strategy session where you were pitched WeTube for $9,800. Here is how the numbers broke down. So they got over 2,000 people on the wait list, and 437 of those people ended up putting down an application fee to apply for the program, $99. So they ended up making $43,000 in just application fees. And then of those 437 people, they accepted 3 cohorts of 60 people per for a total of 180 at $9,800, which was $1.76 million in revenue for the approximately 3 months that they ran this. Now, with a success like this, the news quickly spread and everyone thought this new funnel was turning the industry on its head. But there's 4 reasons why this works so well for Sam that you need to know before trying it for yourself. I wish I would have thought of these before I tried it for myself. Reason number 1, pent up demand. Sam hadn't created a new product for over 4 years. The industry, since creating up-level consulting, had really shifted, and its customers were really craving a more up-to-date training. Facebook ads had been dying, YouTube ads were crushing it. So when he launched this new course that taught YouTube ads instead of Facebook, it taught YouTube organic, people jumped all over it. It was the perfect positioning to a literally tribe of hungry buyers, right? Which is also the second point, extremely aware buyers. Eugene Schwartz outlines in his book, Breakthrough Advertising, that there's 5 levels of customer awareness, from unaware to most aware. I'd be willing to bet that 80% of the 180 people who enrolled in WeTube were already customers of Sam. So say 140 of them, right? Meaning they're the most aware on that sliding scale of awareness. They didn't need fancy stories or funnels to convince them. The trust for Sam was already there, right? A lot of times these more complex funnels with storytelling and different steps. The point is you have to move them along that sliding scale of awareness. But Sam had the ability to not have to do that. In fact, it would almost hurt his conversions. But there's also another reason that's quite a bit strange. And that's the third reason, is that they liked the way they were being sold to. Now, again, this reason is a bit weird. So allow me to explain. People who enroll in Sam's training are going to market and sell in their businesses the way they were sold in Sam's training. It's kind of this weird Inception-like concept. So because Sam teaches them how he sold them. Again, it's a weird concept, but Sam was preaching this new simple way to run an information business. And to people like us who run these businesses, it's very attractive, right? They didn't have to have fancy funnels. People were sick of making these complex VSLs and funnels. So when Sam presented this new way, right, which in a way, by launching his program this way with this simple Google Doc VSL, people see that as part of the offer. Does that make sense? It's this unique ability where marketers like the way they're marketed to, so they buy the marketing services so that they can learn how to market that same way, right? So he's proving as he's doing it that this model works for them, right? Like, hey, I sold you this way. Since I sold you this way, you can sell this way, which made them want to enroll and use the model for their business. So honestly, this one kind of hurts my brain to try and comprehend, but it's worthwhile to know. What's even weirder though is when Sam teaches it, he's at the head of the spear, and then somebody else buys it. And then, because they like the way they're marketed to, and then they go and they teach it somewhere else. And then the cycle just continually repeats itself. And you have a bunch of coaches teaching coaches how to be coaches. But that's a story for a different day. The fourth reason why this works so well is massive disruption. So let's take a break from Sam for a minute and talk about Mr. Beast. When he launched Feastables, he broke the Shopify record for most sales in 24 hours from chocolate bars, right? And you could look at his business model and say, that's it, right? He has the best business model on the planet. I should go sell chocolate bars with only 3 ingredients. That's literally the best product. It broke the record. It's doing $100+ million a year in sales. That's what I'm going to go sell. But that would be completely ignoring the reason why he's so successful in the first place, which is his massive distribution. This is the hardest part of any business, to grow an audience, to bring traffic to your website. It's expensive, right? Especially if you're doing with paid advertising. It's difficult to convince people that they can trust you, right? To convince people that they should buy your product when they're in a world that is constantly selling to them, right? Mr. Beast has one of the largest audiences on the planet. This is why he chose to sell chocolate bars, because the TAM, the total advertisable market, is most of the world's population. Now, back to Sam. He also has one of the largest audiences and fan bases in his niche. So with an audience size of 1 million plus of people inside his niche, it's very reasonable to assume that he can generate at least 180 clients. And that's exactly what he did. He could launch a new product tomorrow to his million people and probably drum up another $2 million very, very quickly. The magic wasn't really in the funnel. The magic was all the aspects that led him to be able to create a funnel like this: the brand, the audience, the trust, the goodwill he had built for years prior. So would this funnel work for you? Well, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Do you have an offer that sells itself? Do you have an extremely aware audience? Do you have a massive distribution channel? If not, then chances are there are better ways to convert your traffic into customers that in the future will allow you to create a simple funnel like this and absolutely crush it. And that was the thing for me. When I tried this funnel, I had just sold one of my companies and then relaunched a new one. So I had an entire new audience, right? I didn't even really have an audience because I had just sold my old email list. I just sold my old audience, and I was going into a new market. And in this new market, no one really knew me. So to create a simple funnel like this, where you're not building trust, right? You're not really doing any of the things that need to happen to knock over the big domino that's going to lead to the sales that you want. So to do that, it's kind of expected that it's going to flop. So if that's you, if you need to build the audience, if you need to get to the point where you're able to use this type of funnel, in the meantime, watch this video on how to use funnel architecture to convert more of your traffic into customers so you can grow your audience even faster.